What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here. Let's get into our weekly news as there's actually been a lot that's happened with Apple I wanted to discuss with you. And yeah, I know, a little unconventional. I'm filming in my living room, just wanted to mix the backgrounds up. So I'm a little echoey in here, still trying to fix that, but do forgive me. Anyways, what's going on right now? So 2 nights ago with Apple, there was something crazy that happened that doesn't happen often. And honestly, it was just such a big opportunity for everyone involved. Anyways, Apple began signing a bunch of old iOS firmwares that allowed you to downgrade many iOS devices to firmwares of your choosing, down to iOS 4, 3, 5 even 6 on the iPhone 5. So within certain hours, you were able to downgrade your device and you can get that classic experience, take a trip down memory lane. And it's just kind of crazy because I bought several devices on old firmwares and I paid way more than I should for them just because of the firmwares. And here it is, Apple handing these old firmwares out for free. So a lot of people downgraded their old iPhone 5s, 4Ss, even the newer 6S, 7s were able to go to iOS 10 and be jailbroken. So unfortunately that's closed now, you can't get back into it, but it's crazy that that was available for a few hours and I wasn't even a part of it. I was sleeping at the time, so I didn't get a chance to do that, but Reddit is just full of posts of people that were able to downgrade, and I'm a little envious of you. I would have done so many of my devices, a lot of my iPads, just to get down to their original firmwares. That would have been cool, but just wanted to mention that was pretty cool. Sorry we missed it. Now it's really starting to get ridiculous how many iPhone 10 clones are appearing on the market. This is the Goo phone, the original one, the one that copied it first, but now big manufacturers are starting to copy the iPhone 10 in their own ways, but blatantly copying the design. So there are 2 new ones since the other 2 I've shown you in the other week updates. So this time around it's coming from a bigger company, and this is Doogies V or 5. And it looks just like the iPhone 10. It's actually the best one I've seen so far. The chin on the bottom is pretty minimal, so it does look, it does look a little off, but still one of the best iPhone 10 replicas I've seen. On the back though, this thing looks like the upcoming Galaxy S9, so it's a very mixed signal you're getting there on which phone you have. It does look like an iPhone 10, definitely. On top, it does copy the notch for no other reason than to have people mistake it that you're using an iPhone 10. I think that's interesting. This is coming from a bigger company, and it's a bigger display than the original iPhone 10. So this is going to be like the iPhone 10 Plus, but in a cloned form. It's a 6.2-inch display, actually has some very impressive specs on it, and get this will be beating Apple to the punch. It will have supposedly a built-in the screen fingerprint sensor. If a clone gets this, that is ridiculous. So I'm hoping that it does. It would be cool to test that out. I'm sure it would even be faster than Face ID. So I'll definitely be buying this. It should hit the market fairly soon. And then there's another one, the Oukitel, I don't really know how to say that, U18, with a pretty crappy spec sheet. So this one doesn't look anywhere near as good as Doogie's version. It does have a 1512 by 720 resolution display, 5.58 inches, so copying the exact size of the iPhone 10. And the chin though is quite ugly, the top is quite ugly, it doesn't look as good. On the back it looks like a terrible robot, not liking that, but there's just another iPhone clone. This one is going to hit the market by the end of this month. If I can get my hands on it, I will. It's probably only going to come out in China, so I just think it's funny how many people are copying Apple's design, the controversial notch. Every single one of these clones has it, even though, everybody rags on it. I don't mind it, I love it, but it's just funny that everyone's copying it even after all the controversy. So the iPhone 10 is getting cloned like no other iPhone I've ever seen in the past. And I found this next one kind of funny. So personally, I think that we don't give Apple enough credits for securing our devices. They put privacy first. I mean, ahead of any other priority. Your phone is secure with Apple, your computer, your iPad. The mantra they have within the company about privacy is really great, and we should give Apple more credit for it. I'm saying this because a senior FBI forensic inspector actually spoke out against Apple and said that they are jerks and evil geniuses for securing their phones with such high encryption that they themselves cannot unlock it and will not be giving in to pressure from the FBI to unlock phones for them. So I think that that is crazy that the FBI cannot get into these phones, and they're not saying that they can't get into them, they're just saying that Apple makes it so much more difficult than usual. And don't get me wrong, the FBI can still get into your phone, your data, if they really want to. It's just a lot harder to do that now. And they actually said that Apple made it unnecessarily harder to do so, but of course that's a good thing. They're making it out to be like it's a bad thing. And in a brute force scenario, they were actually able to scan 45 passcodes attempts in 1 second. So within days, they could have access into the phone. Now they're only able to do one passcode every 18 seconds because of the hash rate of the passcode. The encryption is much larger. So I think that that's great that Apple did that, although eventually to make it almost impossible for them to get into our data would be great with even higher levels of encryption. So thank you, Apple, for keeping our phones secure. And for people that are holding out for the jailbreak on iOS 11, the iPhone 10, this weekend Coolstar will actually be releasing a jailbreak tool for developers. It's more of a toolkit that allows developers to update their tweaks to work on the iPhone 10 and iOS 11. So don't think that you're going to be able to install Cydia with it. It's not meant for that, but we are making huge progress to eventually getting Cydia and Cydia Substrate running on our devices and enabling all the cool tweaks. So I will update you guys on that. Just a step has been made towards a full jailbreak, and it's very exciting. Now, Apple doesn't usually do this, but they did confirm a new feature that is coming to a new version of iOS 11 very soon. And this is because of pressure from a couple investors that are saying that Apple's controls for kids are not robust enough. I mean, they are able to do a lot even with the restrictions you can set. So they're saying to make iOS more kid-friendly. And Apple actually responded and said that the parental controls in iOS 11 will be made more robust. So if you have kids of your own and you don't trust the settings right now, Apple will improve them probably in the new version of iOS 11, 11.3 maybe. I'm hoping that this launches alongside the new battery controls that Apple promised as well. So a couple new features in iOS 11 that will be coming within the next few weeks or so. Now, for those of you affected by the battery issues on older iPhones, Apple actually ran out of batteries because of so many requests and repair orders that they won't even be able to service your iPhone 6 Plus up until March to April. Just keep that in mind if you wanted to do that. On the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, they're a couple weeks out right now. And I got very excited when I saw this because it's actually one of my favorite Apple accessories. The DJI Osmo has got a refresh at CES. So DJI Osmo Mobile 2 is actually cheaper than the original. I bought this for $300. The new one is only $139, and that's not a mistake. That's actually its new price. It's better in apparently every single way. The clamp is different. It's lighter. The battery lasts 15 hours now instead of 3 to 4, but you can't replace the battery itself. It's now charged via micro USB, not this weird headphone jack charger. It's got zoom control. It can record in portrait mode. Not that you should ever do that. It also supports heavier phones better, like the iPhone 8 Plus. Apparently this one caused some sort of issues, but all around I'm very excited for it. I will be reviewing it because this is honestly one of my favorite things that everybody should own for an iPhone if you like to do video and stuff, because you can get some impressive results. I personally have. I still want to do video on the iPhone 10 with it, so I will be reviewing the new DJI Osmo Mobile 2 as well. My only request is that DJI to the app adds 4K 60 frames per second video, so you can slow that down and get cinematic shots, as well as being able to disable the optical image stabilizer when shooting 1080p video and making it more stable in 4K format. So that's just my request for it. And guys, there it is. That's what's going on this week. I also wanted to mention, yes, I did hit 5 million subscribers, so I wanted to say thank you for everyone that congratulated me on that. I still want to do a special video with a Q&A, so if you guys have any questions, you want me to show you guys something, just ask it, leave it down below in the description. I will be doing a special video on that, and yes, I will do a house tour, so I think now it's mostly presentable. I'll be showing you guys that in that video as well, so looking forward to that. I actually have a cool video coming tomorrow as well, so stay tuned guys. Thanks for watching, and that's your weekly update. Peace.